5 reasons why quality men are not choosing you. In this video, you will discover how to avoid making the mistakes that keep quality available men at bay and have you continue to attract the wrong ones. If you are ready to attract that right quality man into your life, comment below with "I am ready." Of course, I am Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man Method, and this is the channel where we magnetize your man so that the man that you want desires and loves you forever. So look, if you like my dress, my earrings, my background, whatever you love about this video, then please like the video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with all of your girlfriends to enjoy. Also, wait until the very end because I have a special bonus secret for you that will help you to truly see who the quality man really is. So let's go ahead and dive right into the 5 reasons why quality men are not choosing you. Number 5 is incongruency. In other words, the confused mind says no. So how does that actually happen? How do you send unconscious mixed signals to a quality man that has him turn his back against you, away from you basically? Well, just visualize yourself on a date. And so let's say you want to overcompensate for something because you're truly afraid to show up authentically who you are, because you're afraid that you're not going to be accepted with all of who you are. So let's say you're sharing something vulnerable, but you don't feel comfortable with that. So what you do is you laugh. Now what happens in that moment is, because it's actually not funny, you send mixed signals to that very man. Because that man actually picks up, wait a minute, I just felt something vulnerable there. There was something available. I don't know exactly what it is, depending, especially if the man is a little bit more on the masculine side. Right? But he can sell that there was something there. There was an opening there. And then he's like, but then there's this laughter and it's kind of incongruent. It doesn't make sense in this context. So you have just sent mixed signals. And what's going to happen next is he's going to start hesitating. He's going to be like, wait a minute. Am I confused or is she confused? Am I trustworthy or is she trustworthy, right? Like, can I trust her? Is she showing up who she really is? Or wait a minute, maybe I made the wrong interpretation and I'm confused. And actually it was funny, it was actually not vulnerable. So either way, he's going to be left with a conflict inside of himself. And unfortunately, when he feels that conflict inside of himself, the confused mind says no. How does that look like? Well, he's going to feel hesitant. He's going to be like, hey, I really enjoyed my date with you. I really enjoyed seeing you. And he's not going to make any further plans because he doesn't know yet. And then he gets home and you just kind of disappear from his awareness. In other words, the brain deletes. Why? Because it's not safe. We don't know what that laughter was all about. So whether it's actually harmless because you just wanted to cover up your shame, or if there was a big bomb waiting to explode, that of course will remain a secret to him, but it's not worth for him to take that risk. So if that has happened to you, if you feel like, wow, I do resonate with that, Antia, I actually have sent mixed signals. I didn't even know that I was doing that because I thought I just keep the conversation light and happy and joyful and positive, then comment below this video. Let me know about your story. Number 4 is lack of emotional range. Now what happens with a quality man, especially if he's more on the masculine side, he's looking for his feminine equal, right? For his feminine polarity. Now, what of course the feminine consists of is variety of emotions. It's a rainbow of colors, from anger and sadness and happiness and joy and all the things in between. And there's so much unpredictability and he enjoys that. Why is that? Because when you actually go into an emotional range, you actually hand him an emotional resume let's actually call it emotional map. And then he gets to feel that map inside of himself, right? He's going to be like, oh, that emotion means sadness, right? Or inadequacy or whatever it means, right? So he gets to find that inside of himself and he gets to feel like his emotions even more. So in other words, he lives vicariously through you. So if you have this incredible emotional range, like he's going to experience like state changes and so on, and he's going to feel alive and he's going to feel authentic and he's going to feel like genuine because he knows that all of those emotions are inside of him too, but they may have been slumbering, they may have been sleeping. So if you have that lack of emotional range, everything will just fall a little bit flat, right? And so, when it falls flat, it's just kind of like, yeah, we'll see what happens, we'll see what unfolds. But there's it's like, it's not intriguing, it's not interesting, and it's certainly not worth investing into, because instead of expanding his experience, right, and your experience of life, you're actually decreasing, you're actually diminishing and dimming your own light. And that, of course, has him not choose you. Now, this and more we also talk about, of course, in my free Magnetize Your Man dating support Facebook group. So hop on over to mymfbgroup.com and let's go ahead and continue the party right there. Now, another important thing for the quality man, number 3, is having high standards. So if you don't have high standards, he's really wondering, oh, is she holding herself to a high standard, right? Is she actually dating quality man? Is she honoring herself? And there was like one guy a few years ago, and he wrote in his online dating profile, I will treat you like a queen, but you have to know that you are one. So he's looking for that, right? He's going to be like, do you know that you're a queen? Are you treating yourself like a queen? Are you setting boundaries like a queen? Because again, he wants to have an equal partner, not a project that he has to constantly convince and validate, why she's pretty, why she's beautiful, because that, of course, drains him as a man as well, right? Imagine you make a compliment and you constantly, and your friend is saying, no, really? Like, I don't know. That's exhausting. Versus saying, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for noticing, because then you're actually enhancing the experience, right? It's actually a compliment to him for like, thank you for making this really, really true observation about me. So it also validates him as a man as well. So he feels like he can provide for you. And of course, he can make you happy. Of course, when you don't have those high standards, he's going to have like lack of respect, right? He's not going to have respect for you because it's like, well, I don't know. I feel like she's actually really valuable, but she's not treating herself this way. So again, it's very similar to the first one. You're sending those mixed signals. And of course, he's not going to spend all this time trying to convince you otherwise just because he sees the potential inside of you. So let me know in the comments as well, where are you with this conversation when it comes to setting high standards? Also, if you haven't done so already, also take our free, read it, our Trigger His Desire ebook at triggerhisdesire.com, and then let me know as well, like what breakthroughs are coming from there as well. Number 2 is you give all your power away. Now, what he is looking for is a woman who holds her own, who sets her own boundaries, who is confident intrinsically as well as extrinsically, which means there is actually a natural congruency inside of yourself. Yeah, you hold your own. You know that you have power because he knows that he has power, right? So he wants to actually feel confident with a power partner in his life. So when you give your power away and you become apologetic, again, similar things happen, right? He loses respect and he's going to be confused because, especially if he feels like that you are actually like an incredible woman. But again, why is she giving all her power away all the time? Is there something that I don't know? Does she not value herself as much? Like, is she maybe not remember, environment trumps willpower. So if you're constantly handing him an emotional resume where you apologize, where you're not holding your own, where you use shame shields, where you become defensive, right? So you give your power away all the time versus actually saying, whoa, 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 until here and not further, right? Like that's what he's looking for, because that's a recognition. And we teach that in our King and Queen Matrix. And in that King and Queen Matrix, we actually talk about the fact that you could put kings and queens, you could put doormats and jerks and people pleasers and bitches in the same room. And usually what's going to start happening is the doormat is going to attract a jerk, right? And the bitch is usually attracting the nice guy. However, the king and queen will find each other through resonance, right? They know each other. They know what they vibrate at. They know what they smell like. And I'm not talking about the actual smell. I mean instinctively, the emotional smell. So rather fascinating and interesting for you to try on. So step into your power, girlfriend. So also, if you haven't done so already, get my free quiz. And of course, all the juicy custom gifts that come with that at mymquiz.com. Now, lastly, number one is what has him run, especially quality men, for the hills, is when you resent men. So he's not interested to pay any bills any debt that any other man has caused in your life, any withdrawals that they have caused in your trust bank account. They're not interested in paying the interest on that, right? They're like, yeah, wait a minute. Okay, we are in an interdependent relationship. So you heal your stuff, I heal my stuff. We talk about it. We have tools. We have context about it. We have language for it, right? But it's ultimately an ownership inside of you and inside of me about what happened with our ex-partners. However, if you continue to resent men and you're continuously trying to put him down, trying to emasculate him, trying to punish him, trying to shame him, and so on, horrible, absolutely horrible, he'll walk. He'll walk because he's respecting himself too much. Now, let me give you an example, because I did something that was coming from a resentful place when I started dating my husband. And essentially, I didn't get the time that I needed that day because he was working with a one-on-one VIP client. He was taking him out on a field day. Back then, men could actually hire my husband for VIP field days to meet women and so on. And there was a misunderstanding where I thought he's going to be available from the afternoon on, but it was actually, he wasn't done until even late at night. And so I got so upset that I wanted to punish him, because that was my old way of being, because I still had a little bit of residuals of resenting men inside of me. So I took my car, drove it from San Francisco to LA to one of my best girlfriends at the time. And then when he called, he's like, okay, I'm ready to hang out now. I told him, well, I'm in LA. Right? So I was really sarcastic, totally stabbing that knife, right? Conniving, inside of him, yeah, and really like punishing him. Now, when I came back the next day, so that was Saturday night, on Sunday I came back, and he looked at me, and he made very clear that he's not going to pay the debt that other men have caused in my life. But he said, you're never going to do that again. That's it. And that was really scary, and it was also really hot. Because it was like, I was really glad. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is actually going to work. This is a quality guy. Like, I can't manipulate him. I can't just push him around and blame him for things that other men, including my dad, have caused in my life. So that would be an example of a quality man. He'll walk. So don't try that out. Don't try that out. Okay. So comment below, which are the reasons do you resonate with the most? I just brought a couple examples, how they were showing up in my own life, and maybe also how you started shifting them as well. And of course, as usual, because you stayed until the very end, the bonus secret is there's no pattern interrupt. So quality man knows, wait a minute, life is not predictable. there's always things that are happening. There's always things that are changing, that are shifting, right? That's just like normal life, right? There's ups, there's downs, there's fluctuations. So if there's no pattern interrupt, there's nothing surprising that occurs. You're not willing to step into the mystery of yourself. You're not willing to step into the unknown of who you are. He essentially knows that he can't grow with you. You see, a quality man looks for women that he can also grow and experiment and explore with. Now, what's really important is how willing are you to be wrong? How willing are you to let go of your roles, of your titles, who you think you are, right? How willing are you to surprise yourself? You see, every Sunday at church when I volunteer, and I pray a lot for all attendees, it's really fun because I usually pray for surprise, right? I pray for that they get surprised, that they surprise themselves. So what would that look like for you if you felt actually confident and safe enough to surprise yourself? And then with that, of course, also the man. So again, if you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, and share it with all of your friends. Now, if you haven't watched this video already, this is so perfect to watch right after this one, which is 5 emotions that cause men to choose you. So hop on over to that, watch that right now. Lots of love to you, and I will talk to you in the next video. Much love. Bye-bye. Mwah.